Hey there, beautiful souls. I hope you're enjoying this amazing weather. So today this video is about self-acceptance, and this is really a lot about how I work in clinic with my Love to Heal. Movement meditations is about what I believe is self-love and self-acceptance. Everything comes back to that space as to how much love we hold for ourselves, how much we accept ourselves, and to say that I am enough and I am doing enough. Because what that does is it takes your foot off the pedal, the accelerator, screaming, trying to do too much, but also with the foot on the brake, with the fear factor that behind it that is driving you to push your foot on the accelerator. So you can see this loop, this circuit, but it's creating a huge neural stress, and stressing our bodies creates an inflammation, a friction, if you can imagine, and that is heat, and that heat creates this inflammation, which creates disease, illnesses, pain and discomfort, mind and body. You can't really disassociate between them, they're all part of the same thing. And my journey for quite some years now, this self-love and self-acceptance has a lot of been about myself and my body and who I am and finding my voice. And I've always thought acceptance was about that love aspect, the acceptance of you and who you are, and really giving yourself that love. And it's really come forward to me of late that actually it's also acceptance of the other aspects of yourself that you may not like, or not necessarily not like, but kind of sits there in the subconscious of those fears. And I am literally on this moment of stepping up, being in my power, being courageously and curiously me. And as you do that, you get keen off, and when fear hits you, it's on because you're literally about to break free. It's like this, woof, here's this mass of illusion that you're carrying, and to step through that gateway, it's about recognizing them, accepting them, but yet still stepping through them. So what's come through me is about accepting your fears. I've been wanting to try and quiet them, keep them at bay, and so I can feel less stressed with that. But that again is trying to disassociate yourself. You're trying to separate yourself, and actually everything about health is about wholeness. So I've really recognized I simply just have to come to a point of acceptance of I will have these fears, I will have these imposter syndromes, I will have perfectionism trying to raise its ugly head to block me from doing things. And what I'm choosing, that's the big thing, that's your power. It's the choosing to be aware of them and accepting them, and then still choosing to continue what I wish to do, what brings me joy, what brings me fulfillment and purpose. And so actually just to really own your power, to have the choice to go, I can see these fears, I accept these how they are. I'm not trying to quash them, I'm simply acknowledging them and accepting them, and that will be part of the journey. However, I can choose to still do it. So it's like feeling the fear but doing it anyway, and that is another level of acceptance. It's accepting our light, and it's accepting our shadows, it's accepting our positive and our negative, and one cannot exist without the other. With the laws of science, where we are, you've got to have, for a negative to exist, a positive has to. It's the physics of that. So actually, for our light to exist, everything that we're desiring, everything that we're wishing for, the shadow, the negative will exist. So we can't deny it, we can't ignore it, but we can decide how much light we put on it. And if you can visualize how much light you put in a room, for instance, if the light is coming up from more of a fear-based perspective, it creates these huge shadows that can be quite overwhelming and overpowering. Whereas if you draw light from above right down, think of the midday sun, it has the smallest of shadows, yet those shadows are there to show that there's presence there and that there's light there. So actually, if we can come into a space of acceptance of both our light and our shadows, yet choose to be still the light, we can really keep stepping forward up into our power, up into our desires, and to have that curiosity once again of who you are, and to have the courage to be you too. And that for me is like that next level of self-acceptance and that wholeness of yourself, just accepting everything that's part of you. And yes, there's things and belief patterns that you can shift, but it's the awareness of it. And that is the fundamental key. Once you're aware of these things through self-reflection, through work, through meditation, you can start to shift your perspective as well and create your new stories, create neural plasticity of new pathways of thought processing, so you don't get stuck in the same old pattern. I'm not enough, I'm not doing enough, I'm not worthy. It's all recognizing that these are BS systems, the famous belief systems, or bullshit is what I call them. They're just not your truth, but you have to know that they're there. You have to see that they're there to put light on them, to be able to know, okay, I choose not to continue this cycle. And that is the miracle. That can be the smallest chain of choice that takes you from one train track to the slightest angle of another, which might not look a lot, but over time, as you continue that pathway, it becomes so vast and separated from each other that it's like a distant memory. It's an old untrodden pathway that just gets released. So coming back to this video, is about self-acceptance and what I do with my work in terms of hands-on clinic work, but also my Love to Heal movement meditations, which are regular, so check out on my links when I'm putting on the events on there on the Facebook. But also, which is really exciting, is on the 2nd of July I am doing a live container. So this is breaking through my perfectionism BS and going, right, I'm just going to hold this space for people to find who they are, to find their power, to recognize all these old patterns that are coming up for them that no longer serves them, and to have that courage and that curiosity to find who they are and be that, but also the fears that may be blocking them to be that too, because often we fear, if we start changing, what does that mean around us? How does that affect relationships and things around us? Yet it's knowing that actually when you're really living your truth, only good will come through that, even though it can feel like a squeezing of a birthing process, not always comfortable, but it's been able to go through that transitional process, understanding and having that awareness to make those conscious choices of change. So this is on the 2nd of July. It's a 21-day program. It's live events, it's meditations, it's self-reflection work, and I hold that space for you, so it feels very safe for you to be able to express and vulnerably connect and to be able to release as well. So again, it's the 2nd of July, 21 days, and if you're interested, drop me a note. It's remedialtc@gmail.com, and just imagine yourself being in your power, being in your light, making choices, even though you know that there's aspects of little ego parts of you creep up. You just go with what feels right within your body intelligence, what is in you. Okay, so lots of love. Enjoy the beautiful sunshine. Hopefully you have it too. Certainly sunny down here in Devon. And see my little poochie, there she is. She's my little shadow, but she's a beautiful little shadow to have. Okay, so lots of love and see you soon. Bye.